Yeah, I do not own the rights to this song. It's just setting the mood, setting the tempo. Give me a moment, a little behind. I'll be right back. Yeah, about to get at it. All right, again, I do not and will not own the rights to that song or the music I play. It's just for my entertainment. Here we go. Greatness. Greatness is yours once you claim it. I am Keystone. I'm a synthesizer of energy frequencies and information that generates increases of consciousness, self-awareness, and self-love for those who do not know who they are or the power they possess. This is Code Red. Enter into yourself and learn to absolve and let go of all the drama, hurt, pain, guilt, anything that's thriving inside of you. And allow yourself to transcend into a healthier state of being. This is the introspection you've been expecting you. All right, so today going to be a good one. I'm going to talk about skills or lack thereof. Sharpen your skills if you have some, and if you have none, get one. Again, whatever skills you have, sharpen them up. Get tight. If you don't have any, get one, because you're going to need something beyond what you're doing right now. So to set the pace of the race, this is just bringing a little, actually not even a little, a whole lot of awareness to what's actually going on right now and the direction that the economy, society, and you're going to be going with or without you. Because If the road goes this way, that's the direction you have to go unless you go off the road. And right now, the only way for you to go off the road is if you're able to sustain yourself. That's where we're at right now. So, with all of this going on, as far as on speculation as to what's really going on and why it's going on and how it's going on, I don't even worry about that because I know within myself, I'm more than aware of what's going on and how to counteract the moves that are made again. And earlier references I made that they moved their piece in position and called check or checkmate. I'm personally choosing to go as their move as check. I'm not too worried about what they're going to do and what anybody else is actually going to do because I bet all on myself. I went through my life betting on anything and everything outside of me, and not until I began this process that I can truly understand and overstand that I am truly in charge of what I do and the direction that I go. So by me following the crowd and the trend, that is a decision that I made, just as well as yourself. Whatever you're doing, you chose to do it. You can say that you didn't, or you can acknowledge that you have. Either way, again, the balance of the universe. What side of the spectrum are you on? Are you the victim or are you the victor? And accountability belongs to the victors. Decisions and action belong to the victors. Those that are waiting idly for the hero or whatever it may be that you're waiting for, that's on the weaker end of the spectrum. And though that means that everybody's will is going to be done upon you. Again, while you're sitting and waiting, that means everybody else's will be done upon you. There's really no other way to look at it. That's a position of weakness. So, going as far as skills, right now, if the best skill that you have is waking up and punching a clock and being on time to that job, I suggest that you need to add a couple of more wrinkles to that because that plan is about to get disrupted in a major way. The job situation are going to be just for the select few that are willing to, again, check their brain in at the door, beat themselves up within, suck it up, continue to be disrespected, disregarded as you may or may not treat yourself. And again, once you get to the point when you know your worth, you know your value without a doubt, there's no way that you would settle for anything less than what you know you deserve. And if what you deserve is not what you're currently experiencing, then that means you need to build yourself up and change the conditions around you to complement the way that you or the value that you feel about yourself. While you're at a job, yeah, jobs are necessary for those who do not know another way, an alternative way to do whatever you're at the job for. Yeah, not knocking the job, definitely jobs help me knock out a lot of stuff, cover major grounds. Again, a stepping stone. You have to use that stepping stone to ascend if that's where you're going. After a while, that stepping stone or that stair, if you stay there too long, it's going to wear down. It's going to be a slope. And you could be stuck at that job or that situation. Just imagine putting 10 years of dedicated, blood, sweat, tears, and beyond into something, and for them to let you go just like that. It happens. It will happen. It's going to happen. Right now, as far as reality, there's a thing called reality and a thing called actuality. Reality is based off of conditions. So the reality of me being cold, it depends on if I'm from Alaska, in 30-degree weather, I feel like I want to go swimming. But if I'm from the southwest region of the United States, 30-degree weather, I'm not getting out the bed. I'm covers up to the neck. So that's reality. Actuality is what it is. The concrete Sidewalk is made out of concrete. That's actual. So right now we're in a situation where you're actually going to have to decide whether you are worth you, or you're going to minimize yourself to fit into this box that they're squeezing you in. So with all the stuff going on, if you have, remember a couple months ago, people were laid off. So that put everybody in an economic crunch. And to me, honestly, that was right on time, because being able to not have to go to that job for that amount of hours, day after day, 40 hours dedicated to something outside of you. So what I did is I took that 40 hours plus and put it inside of me. And I was able to jump leaps and bounds from where I was at the start of that. So when that stuff kicked in, I've always been building my skills. Anything from wood shop to drawing to silk screening, vinyl, landscaping, anything that's creative or manual. I'm not going to do any engine work. I do stuff outside of the engine. I'm not going to touch the transmission itself, but things leading to the transmission, because I know my zone. I'm good. But if it's something beyond the realm of my capabilities, I'm not, opposed to getting assistance or even learning. So that's just where we're at right now. So it was about upwards of 5 to 6 years ago when, with learning my new craft, as far as, getting introduced to the vinyl, when I was progressing from the silkscreen arena to, elevating to vinyl, came across a situation where it was looked at, like, what are you doing? You need to, get the job, keep the job, so on and so forth. And yeah, cool for where I was at that time. That's all that I knew. And entrepreneurship is something that was just for just them special, them lucky people. And throughout my life, again, I've been in several multi-level marketing, network companies. And I can honestly say that the one thing that kept me from benefiting from that format and that successful business structure was myself. I didn't possess the confidence to go speak to somebody about what I had. Great opportunity, great product, but once you start hearing no's and no's, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and if you're not totally in and betting on you, it's easy to start sliding your money to the side, put it on the other numbers and other things that's going on outside of you. So again, building myself to, just entrepreneurship, like I said, the vinyl. So the gentleman that introduced me to the vinyl, gave me the basics, and then allowed me to start designing, and then, hands-on as far as the process, and then got to the point where, all right, what you gonna do? You gonna get your own equipment or or what? Because I got stuff that I want to do. And so, oh shoot, I guess it is time. So got my equipment and got started. And so within that investment, it was a whole realm of the unknown. Like, wow, coming from the silk screening arena, vinyl was a whole nother a whole nother beast. The potential was greater, and the supplies, the process, and your scope of, or your realm of capabilities have expanded beyond what you can do with the silk screen. Silk screen has its advantages, but when I saw the distinct difference between silk screening and vinyl, oh, right there on the spot, I had to get my hands on it. This is where I want to be, because silk screening, you get that ink on you, that stuff is not coming off. So, building myself up to learn the process. So, scraping and falling down, bumping knees, elbows, and then you get to the point where, you catch your balance, and then you're able to see your obstacles. And when you're able to see your obstacles before you, that assists you with being able to make a decision how to negotiate around them, or even if you want to go over them, you have an option. You know what I'm saying? It's no longer just having to go to that obstacle and wait for that obstacle to move before you do anything. It's like, no, I see that right there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead at it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to do. So that's the direction that I'm going. So within that first year, you know, experimenting, attempting new things. And so when the gentleman that shared the vinyl with me, when coming from the silk screen in the arena, all I was saying was apparel. You know, I was like, ooh wee, I'm about to be the hoodie master, the tee master. You know, I'm about to vinyl everything. And so he used to tell me, hey, that's chump change. I'm like, man, in my mind, I'm like, he has no idea who he's talking to. You know, that's chump change. That's chump change. You know, doing that stuff right there. That's chump change. And in my mind, yeah, man, he don't know who he messing with. So, needless to say, that he was right. It was just that from what I had access to and the information that I had access to was just limited in scope. So, the first vinyl that I was introduced to was apparel vinyl. So, to me, that was it. That was vinyl, and it was all about apparel. Not knowing that there was another vinyl that is used for different purposes, and that's for signs, banners, windows, cars, anything, anything that's a flat surface that's non-porous. And so once he expressed that to me and showed it to me, and I got to put my hands on it and actually got to see where and how it was applied, the whole world turned into vinyl to me. So it was like, oh shoot, okay, the van, the bus, oh, the store hours, and oh, the back of their window, oh shoot, they're advertising, oh, on that magnet. So what ended up, I had to acknowledge, and I shared with him that the stars that I was shooting for when I just was aware of the apparel vinyl ended up being only the top of the trees once I got introduced to the calendar vinyl or the sign vinyl or whatever anybody else wants to call it. But it was tremendous. So full of excitement, I'm in it. So I had to create a process. So I had to go through my training. So I purchased a whole roll of vinyl, 10 yards of vinyl. And that white roll of vinyl, I said to myself, I'm going to use this to do all of my experimenting with. Anything that I want to do, I'm going to do. I'm going to learn how to do all the processes. So by the time I get to the end of this 10-yard vinyl roll, I'm going to be a vinyl master. And by the time I got more than, I'll say 8 yards out of the 10 yards of the roll left, I was ready to go. I felt at that time from where I started from. So I went and purchased another color of vinyl, which was black. And I purchased another white one. So I finished off the white one. Now I got the black one. And so I started looking at different things that I can design. What can I create? What kind of products can I provide? So went from the black roll and added a red roll and the green, blue, so on and so forth. And then, okay, now what am I going to put it on? So, went from making steins to banners to window decoration to magnets and just wall decals and just, going so on and so forth. So with that vinyl at that point where I could have been good. You know what I'm saying? I can make apparel and I can make products and I can slap, throw some vinyl on it, nice decal, good presentation, and I'm good. But something within me knew that this isn't where I was supposed to be stopping. I haven't reached my stopping point yet. So I adjusted my plan. And so what ended up being is, so I started referring to the vinyl as the mule of my operations. So regardless of any other avenues or rivers or streams that I'm generating to add to this multi-million dollar conglomerate, it's going to be based on the back of the vinyl, because Now, from the silk screening experience, I know that teas or advertising or adornment on apparel is needed. So now that I add the vinyl with the apparel, I'm a one-man stop shop, one-man stop. So if you need this, that, anything for advertising. So now I carved out a niche for myself. So I put myself in the middle of anybody that's doing business. If you're doing business, I can provide something to assist you without a doubt. So therefore, finding business, creating business, generating business is not that difficult. It's just about presenting yourself a quality product, competitive price, and even if the price isn't competitive, they want to work with you, they're going to work with you. So you have to provide more and above and beyond that number that's on that piece of paper that they're going to compensate you for your services or your product. So with that going on, you know what I'm saying? So after my first year, I said, okay, my second year. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to vend for the whole year. Okay, now that I'm, pretty decent with the vinyl as far as the processes and the applications, and you know, I felt pretty decent. So I said, all right, now I'm going to vend. So what I mean by vend, I'm going out to do different events. I'm going to school craft shows. I'm going to church fairs. I'm going to, the reggae fest that's, on the other side of the town, and, just going to big events and just vending. So, networking, seeing what's out there, seeing what the consumers are into, especially business owners. See, my purpose for doing that is so I can come across different people doing different things. Okay, I'm meeting the people that are home-based businesses, then, meeting people that's working for, a franchise, and meeting people that are from A to Z, any other aspects, along with the people that are attending these events. So within that first year, it was beautiful. And everything wasn't peaches and cream, but with me comprehending that and already knowing that going into it, I took everything as a learning experience. So within my first 2 years, the way that I put that together for myself, can't anybody tell me anything about the business that outside of what I experienced, because of the way that I chose to go about it. I knew, number one, again, if I'm going to be doing vinyl, I need to learn vinyl. So that whole role was dedicated to me making errors. And as I refined my errors and found my mistakes, and, how to prevent this from happening and prevent this cut line, and, what I'm saying, learning, what fonts to use, because, oh my gosh, okay. The gentleman that, showed me about the vinyl, when we were doing beer steins. So, the stein was about, it was over 20 ounces, you know what I'm saying? It was over 20 ounces and nice heavy. And so I was putting teens on it. And, being from Southern California, San Diego, I mean, to me, the most prevalent, the baddest font ever invented to me is Old English. And so, I mean, when I first started, I was Old English on everything. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing the steins, saying like I said, I know it was less than a foot, it may have been from 8 to 10 inches tall. Nice size. Like I said, actually it was over 20. So it was probably upwards almost to a quart. It nice size. It was heavy. So, formatting the team, what I'm saying, then the name of the person, the team, and then I was putting the name, I was personalizing them. So running the name along the bottom. So my boy used to be like, man, I'm telling you doing no fancy letters, you do this and doing that. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, this is fresh. This is good to go. So when it came to the part of the process, when it came to weeding, so within the Old English font that I was using, I wasn't just using the basic old English, I was using the one with the capital letters, had the different cuts and, different compartments and everything. So when it comes to vinyl, it's a process called weeding. You got to take something sharp and you got to pull out that vinyl that you don't want to be on the glass. And so when it came to them fine cuts and small lines that were real close together, it was ripping and, just, it was horrible. My dream, my dream design was a hell of a Mickey Ficky nightmare. So I learned, okay, all right, if I'm gonna use Old English, the letters are gonna have to be at least at least an inch or two as far as height wise, and then weeding won't be any problem. But anything smaller than that, I'm just gonna go with a basic block font, bloop, 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 slap it up there, and be off in the emotions. But again, part of the process is to to developing yourself to gain a skill to be beyond efficient at it or proficient at it. So after that second year of vending, so the third year was all right, let's go. We were open for business. Apparel, we're doing banners, we're doing windows, we're doing signs, we're open. And so within that, again, I knew this isn't where I was supposed to be. So if in my mind, and not knocking anybody, but often you get, anybody that does apparel, the battle comes with your pricing and knowing your value and knowing the market and the product and the price points and everything in between. So within doing apparel, for whatever reason, and understandably so, people feel that they should be able to get your original work that you design and put your time and energy and effort into for $4. And you can't knock a person for attempting it. I mean, if I would have bit the hook, yeah, that would have been my fault. But again, it's all on me and what I value. And so in the beginning, yeah, I was, attempted to do shirts, $10, $8, negotiating with people. And so that was to get my, saying purpose for myself was to get my feet wet. Okay, getting used to dealing with customers on custom orders, and then refining my processes as far as taking the liability away from myself and putting it back on that customer. So what I mean by that is learning how to get the customer approval before anything is done. And once they acknowledge that, yes, this is how I want it, exactly like this, then proceed with the work. But again, within that, you have to be able to quote your price, and you have to respect and honor your time and your energy. So by me doing shirts for $10, $12, not at the time, I didn't know I was insulting myself for the amount of hours that it took for me to get beyond proficient at that craft. The job that I was working at the time, I may have shared it before, but if not, my job was from 3 p.m. to 1 a.m. We worked 4 10-hour days. And when I got off at 1 o'clock, I got home about 1:20ish. And from 1:30 until I fell asleep in the chair, I was doing vinyl. You know what I'm saying? And listening to information that I was putting inside of me. And, I chose to do that because after a day of the place where I was working at, it was very necessary. And again, that was a choice. I could have went home and thought about everything that transpired at that place. But again, I exist outside of where I'm presently standing. So with getting that information and working on my vinyl, again, falling asleep in the chair till I woke up, I'll go lay down in the bed just to say I laid down for about an hour or two, get back up, doing whatever I had to do throughout the day, and then get back to the vinyl before I go to work. And that was done like clockwork. It never stopped. It never stopped. Even, again, when I was vending, go to the job, go home, work on vinyl. Again, the benefit of that job, I never, ever, 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 ever will never not, appreciate that opportunity that was provided to me, but it's because I took advantage of the opportunity. So by being 4 10-hour days, I was off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A crappy place to work, but I was there for the schedule because I utilized that schedule for my intentions. I didn't allow the restraints and the confines of that job to determine what I was going to do and what I was going to become. I knew this is, again, a stepping stone. This is where I'm at right now. And a couple of days, months, weeks, I'm going to be on the next step. And that's going to be behind me. And so every experience is greatly appreciated. I could have, wouldn't mind have experienced a little more delight, but that's not what I was there for. I was there for the experience. So not taking anything personal, greatly appreciated, because that allowed me and urged me to get the hell up out of there and away from there, fast and in a hurry, but in due time. So when it was time to leave there, went to my next venture, and then my next venture and next venture, and so just build to where I am now. So right now before you, I'm speaking to those who are just at a job. There has to be something that you're good at. And you may not have done it since you were a child, or even you may have forgotten it, or you may have something that you want to explore. Right now is the time to get started on that. It is. Speaking to people and oh man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But when asked, how much of that have you written down? Have you written it down? And so, I like to share with people what I do. Again, I take notes and I write down my, some of my ideas and, my notebook. So I ask people, how about you write down, 10 ideas a day? Are you able to accumulate 10 ideas a day? I mean, whether they're businesses, sayings, quotes, anything, just 10 ideas that you have. You know what I'm saying? Are you able to do that a day? And after 10 days, you got 100. And not all of them are going to be hits. Not all of them are going to be home runs. But I share is that you got to begin the process. If you never reconfigure your brain to channel it toward reaping benefits of ideas, it won't benefit. It won't do it. It won't think. It won't operate as that because it's not used as that. Your brain right now, if you look at it, if you work a job, not saying in this across the board, but the average 40-hour-a-week employee, their brain is used the most at their job. And it's their brain. They were born with it. Everywhere they go, their brain is with them. But you use the majority of your brain in somebody else's dream. You use the majority of your brain power for somebody else's dream. That's not how it is. It is how it is, but that's how it's not supposed to be. Again, we're all gods. And the gods are the ones that know they're gods. So it's just point blank what it is. Until you can accept who you are and what you are, you're going to continue being pushed around and stepped on and unappreciated because you don't appreciate yourself. Everything starts within. If you want appreciation, then you start appreciating yourself. You want respect, you start respecting yourself. You want honor, you start honoring yourself. And you do that by how you treat and you think and how you talk to yourself about yourself. Not until your self-talk changes does anything happen in you. You know what I'm saying? It's just wishing on a star. Again, you can think something for a couple of seconds, but it doesn't override the years and the compounded effect of negativity that you've done absorbed primarily from yourself, let alone anything outside of you. So to change anything outside of you, you have to learn how to change what's inside of you. So to go with the skills, your greatest skill should not be going to work for somebody else. It shouldn't. And just think of, many people my age, people that's graduated anywhere from, the mid 80s to the mid 90s. Look at all the dreams and aspirations that we had that didn't benefit us. Wanted to run the street, wanted to be the kingpin, super gangbang. Just everything that wasn't beneficial to who we are, that wasn't authentic to us. It was a perception of something outside of us that's what we desired. And many people's lives are still in that rut, chasing something outside of them. Some people have accepted that You have to change everything inside of you to change everything outside of you. Then there are some that are just clueless along the way that are just in the wind. So you have to increase how you think about yourself. So going with this skill sets. Back in the Greek days, was it talendum? That's the Greek word for talent. So what that is in Greek is your weight, the weight of your value, basically your gold. And I'm sure people, I mean, we're out of the gold standard, so you're not going to hear that used as much. So you're going to say, is he or she worth their weight in salt? So basically, are they worth their weight? You know what I'm saying? So if I was to put you on a scale and okay, so do the skills and anything that you possess, is it worth the amount of this salt or this gold that's on the other end of the scale that's balancing it out? Is it? Are you? So with talendum, that's talent. So fast forward to now, talent is what you believe is, your potential. But it's the potential of your talent. So your talent is your weight. So back then, that was how you made and supported, or that's how you provided for your family and yourself, your talents, your skills. Again, the cobblestoner, the blacksmith, the farmer, the cart maker, the baker, the barber. Everybody had a skill set, and that is your talent, your talentum, your weight, and that's how you provided for yourself. But once the economy got to the point where everything got convenient, it was okay to not have those skills anymore. Okay, shoot, I don't need to make carts anymore. I can go up the street and they got a cart lot. I could go pick out the cart that I want. Oh man, don't need to make horseshoes anymore because okay, now they're cars. Or they got machines to make them. So everything gets mechanized. So that's the point that I didn't even think about right now until I got to speaking. There's that look at the mechanization of society. In the beginning, everything was manual. You had to have hands on. It was either manual or horsepower. That was it. Slash mule, but horsepower and manpower. Fast forward to now, horsepower is just a measurement, what I'm saying, just to determine the amount of power that something generates. But everything now is technical. It's not manual anymore. So that's a very beautiful segue. That by everything being technical, they're getting rid of the manual. So if you have a job that's manual right now, you got to look at, not to say it in a disrespectful way, but you got to accept it for what it is. That's considered the bottom of the barrel as far as the jobs that they're creating off of technology. Again, if your job requires you to put your hands on something and sweat and manually do it, those jobs are going to be sought after by everyone. So what it is now is that, the way where we just came from, that was where the least of the skilled people, or the least that was familiar with technical or with technology or whatever, that was, or the ones that for whatever reason, that's the job that they, that would usually get that type of job. So whether you're in between a situation where you are stepping somewhere or you're stepping down and you have to get somewhere to work to generate money, that's what you do. But right now, those jobs are going to be fought over, and they're going to be so fought over that you're going to need a resume, and you're going to have to be over and beyond qualified. To one point, you couldn't even get that job. To now, you're going to be the best of the best, because those that don't have the education and the credentials, so on and so forth, they're not going to be beneficial in the job area, because anybody can lift. That's just simple of it. You have two hands, arms, legs, back, especially, you got a young, strong back, shoulders. Yeah, you can get it. But Now that we're in the era of technology and in the air, in the age of Aquarius, which everything is ether, everything is in the air, is no more anything about manual. And those that are slow to acknowledge that are going to be the ones worse off. So, with the jobs minimizing and going to be sought after and fought after, you would do yourself a great, great, great service by sharpening your skills, acquiring the skills, or developing yourself to get another skill. Because when they tell you at that door that you have to do something that is against how you feel about yourself and that you know within yourself, you got a decision to make. Just think about it. You lived your whole life in fear and not doing what you felt inside that you felt, what you feel you could do, how you value yourself, all because of whatever reason. Now, when it gets to this point, you can look at it as an opportunity to free yourself or further enslave yourself. Because whether you want to or not, they're going to continue where they're going. Again, you're all right. I remember how this was put to me. It said a job is a bribe for you to forget your dreams. Again, a job is a bribe for you to forget your dreams. So once you have your dreams and aspirations and what you desired, and once you get out in the workforce, all that stuff get minimized. It takes tremendous effort and attention and dedication and vigor to remove yourself from the plantation, because it's comfort there. You're with the other slaves / employees. And as long as everybody's in that same vibrational frequency, there's nothing wrong with it, because that's what everybody knows. Nobody knows anything different. Nobody's going anywhere else. Somebody comes with something different than that vibrational frequency, that gets shut out, is blocked off. That person's crazy because he's thinking or she's operating differently than the herd. And if you're part of the wrong herd, you're going to get hurt. So, with the opportunity to at least impact your own life, the life of your family, friends, your loved ones, your dependents. If you never make a decision to do anything better for you or them, when is that change going to happen within the cycle of family? Again, I shared last night that families run the world, and they do. You could think right now of all the last names of all the people that you talk about and dream about and admire. But my question to you is, why can't you do something to put your family in the same situation? Why can't you do something, put yourself in that situation? Or at least in that direction. So the next generation can pick that up and go a little higher, rather than, shit, it's on the ground, I'm not picking that up. No, it's been there for 40 years, so we just gonna keep doing the same thing. Okay, so what they call generational curses. Okay, welfare. What I'm saying? Benefits, privileges. You got to look at that's a generational curse. What I'm saying? The purpose of it was not, as it is now, was not originally intended to keep you dependent on it. But once they saw that, oh shoot, well, we can go ahead and push forward whatever we decide to do, because we're going to have a population of people that cannot say no. And the reason why they cannot say no is because they depend on us to take care of them. So where and when can they say no? Oh, we provide the housing, we provide the food, we provide the education, we provide the medical, the dental, we provide transportation, and so on and so forth. So the more things that they provide for you, the more empowered they are to tell you what you're going to do and not going to do. So that goes on for generations after generation after generation after generation, going backwards to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, granted, okay, for whatever reason, yeah, just families on, on the system. But what is being done to ensure that the following generation doesn't follow that cycle? Not much, because now, oh man, got a place. They're gonna provide a place. I'm gonna have food stamps or TANF. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that. Psh, I ain't gotta do nothing. So now, after three generations of that, what do you think? It's no longer a curse. It's a damn dream. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's perspective changes everything. So rather than being on the system of curse, I remember when I was younger, going to the store with that coupon book or a couple of the coupons, and waiting and letting people go in front of me in line. I'm ready to purchase whatever I'm purchasing. Somebody get behind me in line. Oh no, go ahead. It's no, yeah, go ahead. You go in front of me. I'm good. Okay, look around. All right, nobody's here. Make my exchange and go. But being young, didn't comprehend fully what was going on, and so my mother, basically was like, "Hey, that's just where we were at that time, and we're not there anymore." Okay, cool. So, got you. So if that's what is required at that time to get you to that next level, do it. But when each level that you go up is really standing still because you're still getting it. What you gonna do when they come to you and tell you you have to do A, B, C, or we're cutting it off? A, B, C, or we're cutting it off. I mean, you can bitch and moan and scream and make accusations and proclamations about how they're this and how they're that, but the thing is you signed for it. You signed your name on the dotted line. So if you're in that situation, cool. It's fine. It's dandy. Nobody's knocking you. The thing that I'm promoting is improvement, elevating yourself beyond that. So if they do tell you that you have to do ABC, and you say that you're not going to do ABC, and they say they're going to cut it off, like, cool. I'm already in motion. I'm good. Or even getting out the position where they don't have to tell you they're going to cut it off. You go ahead and tell them you're finished. You appreciate all they've done for you, and you got it from here. Self-efficiency. That's what you want to pass on through generations. You want to pass on accountability. Accountability itself, and self-efficiency, and being able to work within the community with others, being able to build and create, not consume. Again, I share with anybody in my circle. The world is full of consumers and creators. That's how the world balances. And so whenever I hear brown people speak about the economic power of the dollar for brown people, that's truly not empowering at all. When you look at the energy and the statement of what you're saying, you're saying that we're the biggest consumers, so we should have more power. But the way the universe works is that a consumer is taking. A consumer consumes. Listen to the word consume. Means you're taking. When you create, you're putting in. You're adding to. You're increasing. So if you have the biggest economic dollar, then why not take that big economic dollar and form situations where you create? That's how you maximize your economic dollar. Your self-powers, you create, you provide. Again, this universe rewards you exponentially by what you provide, and it's going to benefit you exponentially by what you take. So if all you do is take, you know what I'm saying? So that's the trap with being on the system. They force you. They don't force you. They assist you with being out of balance with the natural laws. So anything that takes, the void gets filled. You know what I'm saying? So you're not putting anything in. You have no control over what's replaced. And again, wherever your energy goes, it grows. And whatever you think about, it enhances, it grows. So you think about taking, being on the system, being, disenfranchised and a victim and so on and so forth because of XYZ. Granted, like I said, yeah, I'm not knocking you. There's a thing called reasons and results. Not until you start generating more reasons, not generating more results than reasons, do you really start to begin to feel your power and who you truly are. As long as you're a victim, you're going to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these people do this and that person did that, and that's not fair that this happened and that happened. That's victimization to yourself. And so the universe hears how you're talking about yourself. And as I said, the universe is going to increase what you think about yourself and what you do exponentially. So if you constantly claim the position of a victim, the universe is, oh, well, hey, shoot, let me give you some more. Let me give you some more. Here you go. More victimization. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you thought that was good. Now let me hit you a little lower. You're doing it to yourself. So rather than looking at the situation as being a victim, look at it as what it is. Okay, if that's what you feel it is, now start to go inside of yourself and where do you begin and what do you have to do to change the way that you're thinking and feeling about yourself within the construct of the society or anything that you're, feeling that you're a victim of. It all is up to you. You have to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, if you're going to do it, if you're not going to do it, who you're going to do it with, who you're not going to do it with, where you're going to do it, where you're not going to do it. Those are all decisions that have to be made by you. Again, it's easy to have somebody tell you what to do and show you what to do, but until you do, it's not going to get done. That's a fact. So, even to go, biblical, when it, goes to talent, what is it, Matthew 25, 24. And as you can tell, I never claim to be Mr. Bible, but, again, for those that are biblically driven and need scripture in order for them to see that, in order for them to move, it has to be written in a book. Those who have will get more. Again, those that have will get more. So let's focus on that. Within the universe, people with a poverty, poor mindset always complains of other people's finances. Oh, they're greedy. They're this. They already have enough. Why would they want more? And to me, that at one point in time, I subscribe to that. Like, man, shit. You got you got $50 million. What you need more for? But not until I began this process is that the universe is a universe of abundance. This is a universe of abundance. And if you don't see and live, breathe, and operate as though this is a world of abundance, you're going to be in an impoverished mind state. Your life, your talk, anything that's about you is going to be impoverished because that's how you see what's outside of you. And again, how you see the world is exactly what's going on inside of you. Again, how you view the world is exactly what's going on inside of you. So, again, those who have will get more. Okay. Why do they need so much money? Again, they live in a world of abundance. Why would they cut off if they're generating money like a waterfall? Anybody that's seen a waterfall? Now, it may do more harm than good for them to attempt to stop the flow of the water of the waterfall. So you think of all the energy that that the waterfall generates just from the water coming from wherever it's coming and over the cliff and down and continuing its process. Again, understand that currency, money is only energy. That's it. So when you look at literally what you're saying is, why do they need so much energy? Don't they have enough energy? Why do they need so much energy? They're being greedy with the energy. No, it's, you can do it too. As my man Rabbi Finkelstein says, you could be doing it too, but you're not, which is true. You could be doing it too, but you're not. So because you're not doing it, why are they the bad people? Why are they the bad people? Because they found out, or however it happened, regardless, like I said, you got reasons or you got results. So however they found out, whatever they found out, whether they was born into it or had a homeboy or whatever, they found out and that's what they're doing. What's stopping you? So again, I shared, people that, do business on that high end level, that do business 7 figures and above, you know what I'm saying? People that charge, to sit down and talk with them, they, what I'm saying, they charging $15,000 for 2 hours of face to face time. What? That means that person is generating so much energy that somebody sees the value in investing into themselves by exchanging $15,000 worth of whatever for whatever information that person is providing to them. So that means that the 15,000 went to the person that's generating it. So now the person that invested that 15,000 into that person to benefit themselves is going to increase that exponentially. And if he doesn't do that, that's his fault, because the universe says it's here for you. I mean, it doesn't say it's here, it shows, it's proven for centuries. And it hasn't stopped yet. The only thing stopping it is you. The only thing stopping it for you is you. So with the again, he who has will get more. Now, he that has little and don't utilize it, it will be taken from them and given to those that have. He that does little with what he has, basically saying that he that has, okay, little something, they're not appreciative of it. So because they're not appreciative of it, they're not growing it. They're not, nurturing it. They're not attempting to take it beyond what it is in its current state. So let me reach on in there and grab that and shoot it over here to him. I'll take that. That's what it is. I mean, you can sit and complain, you could be mad, and again, you could have all kind of reasons why this isn't happening, why this happened, why this, why that. But those of us that are look at the world as a result type of world, cool. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it. Again, when you speak something into the universe starts stitching it. And it's waiting for you once you grow and evolve to become on the frequency of what you desire. So while you're supposed to be on that journey from everything, that you're, claiming that you desire, you're not moving toward it. So again, that's going to be snatched from you. It happens. And, as far as myself personally, again, when I was younger, many, many talents and skills, but I never let them fully go away. Never fully let them go away. At some form or fashion throughout my life, I went back and brushed up on this and brushed up on that. And, leading to when I got with the vinyl, that the true creator that I am came alive. And I'm allowed to accept who I am, which is a creator. I have no worries. I have no issues with calling myself what I am. I am a good, in German for God. I generate, I organize, and I decide. That's what a God is. Again, God is a noun. I'm not claiming Almighty God. I'm not claiming you're Almighty God, unless that is how you feel about yourself. And if that's how you feel about yourself, who am I to tell you that you're wrong? And who are you to tell me that I'm wrong when you have no idea who you are? Again, if you don't see yourself as a God or feel that you're a God or comprehend that you generate, which is create, you organize, you situate things and put them in proper order and you decide, meaning you execute to whatever degree you need to execute when you make that decision. That's what gods do. Gods don't need a man to direct me. I don't need a man to direct me what's best for me. Are you serious? Do you feel like that about yourself? You feel that somebody's going to tell you what's best for you and that you have to do this because they said it's best for you? Are you that out of touch with yourself or the universe or nature or anything that you truly will allow somebody to come in your face and tell you what's best for you, even though it's against what you feel? And you're going to do it. You're going to kowtow and bow down and submit to that because they said they are in authority. And authority has to be agreed upon. You have to agree to give somebody authorization. You have to agree to give up power. Authority doesn't happen without you. You know, anybody can scream they got authority, 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 authority. Respect my authority. Like, your authority has no effect on me. I authorize myself to be authority over myself. I gave myself authority. I don't need anything from you that requires you to be over me. And that's what's going on now. Society has been moved to a position where society needs big brother, big daddy, big government. Big daddy knows that. So now that you need me, yeah, here we go. So, in order for me to give you somewhere to live, this is what I require. Oh, you're not with that? Then I can't give you nowhere to live. Oh, okay. I thought so. All right. In order for us to educate your children, this is what we need from you. We need you to register them to us. You don't want to, well, okay, I thought you said my way. So basically, all they go down list by list. In order to get you in a position where you're vulnerable and you pretty much feel that you have to do it is because you signed. You signed the paperwork, you signed the contract, and all they're doing is enforcing the contract. There's nothing wrong with that. If they signed a contract with you that said they're going to give you $1 million and they decided to skip out on it because they didn't think it was fair and they shouldn't be obligated to that, I guarantee you'll be in court quick, fast, in a hurry with that piece of paper signed. It's right here, it's documented. The negotiations of the contract, the conditions of the contract have not been upheld. He's in breach. He's in violation. And on top of that, I'm on penalties. It's both sides. You signed away your rights for privileges, for liberties. Okay, sidebar on that. So basically just get yourself out of a situation where you have to put yourself in a position where you have to go against what's inside of you. If what's going on now doesn't stick pins in you to a degree, twist the knife a little bit, then cool, you know what I'm saying? But I urge that go seek information. I mean, everybody, you know, from what I experience in life, everybody's not meant to be in charge of themselves. And that's truly how they look at everybody. So basically, until you go before them on paper and how you present yourself in person, that's how they determine, well, it's not even how they determine. That's how you you give them the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, no harm, no foul. I'm able to take care of any and everything regarding from this point forward. Hey, you're not needed anymore. And there's a process that has to happen in order for that to happen again. They know this is all that everybody's about. And they're cool with it. That's why everything is on paper. Spoken words fly out of the window. Written words last forever. Spoken word flies out of the window. Written word lasts forever. That's a law. That's a maxim of law. If it's on paper, it's there forever. It's documented. Your words that are spoken, just like wind, is here then gone. So that is something else that you have to increase. Your ability, your reading comprehension. Your ability to read something, then comprehend it. Your ability to read something, then comprehend it. Not skim over it and then let it ride, because everything that is going on right now has been written. It has been shown. But because everybody's occupied with everything outside of themselves, it passed by everybody until the reality smacked everybody in the mouth. And where we are right now, we're at a total different space than we were 365 days ago. Unfortunately, the people are still attempting to handle what's going on right now the exact same way they handled it 365 days ago. And we're in a different era. Again, we're in a different age. This is the age of Aquarius, which is the age of information. The age of information provides all of your remedies, your ways to, your remedies. They're all written. Everything that you desire as far as separating yourself or getting power over yourself or just claiming, correcting your not even correcting your status, establishing your status, it's all written. They're processes. And, we're in a generation that likes cliff notes, give me the briefing. I don't want to do the reading myself. Just, jot down, what I need to do. And I don't understand why I'm doing it, but just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. I don't know why. So if they question me on it, I'm gonna sound silly as hell, but this is what I'm doing. So there's no honor in that. You know what I'm saying? When dealing with, and surprisingly, this is gonna sound shocking, but this is what it is. Regardless of what's happening to you, you have to remain, regardless of what happens or is happening, you're to remain in honor at all costs. Regardless of what's happening, you are to remain in honor at all costs. Once you get out of honor, that justifies whatever they do to you. Again, you go to court, act a fool, you get emotional, and it's all the game. I'm not going to go into that. Like I said, all this good stuff and all the fun stuff I can't wait to, that I'm excited to share. It's coming. But right now, it's just dropping seeds. I'm just skewing a little things of thinking, ways of thinking, just dropping a seed here, dropping a seed there. And, it's going to get watered either from myself or somebody else. But, yeah, you have to remain in honor at all times. So once you get emotional and you get angry, they look at you as crazy, and that's how they label you. That's how they treat you. So, anger is a sign of being crazy, mentally unstable. Because if you weren't mentally unstable, you should be fine. You should be able to conduct yourself in an honorable way. You should be able to communicate in an honorable way. And the thing that promotes people to act dishonorably is because they don't have information. And when you don't have information, the first thing to do is to lash out physically. And they know this. That's why they constructed the whole system to get you to be emotionally attached to bullshit. If you look at it, as soon as you act up, the first thing they do, they're going to press charges. It's documented. You violated this, you violated that. You at a job, everything is paperwork. The whole system is designed to punish those who aren't stepping into their godhood. So by you not stepping and accepting your godhood, you act out of honor. You don't know who you are, what you are, therefore you don't have the information. And when conflict and information come about and you're not able to counter it with another point or other information, and the physical is your way of doing it, that's childlike. That's what a child does. A child acts out and screams and cries and pouts because the child does not know how to communicate to the adults. All right. So now when you look at the system puts you in the status of a child. And when the adults get to talking to this child does not like the way the adults are talking to them. So the child is going to communicate with the adults in the best manner that they can, that gets results. So children would scream and fight and amongst themselves. But when a child deals with an adult does not deal with that. So when the child is dealt with that heavy hand by the courts or whoever else, the system, and you crying and emotional, you're in the status of a child, and they're going to treat you as a child. They're going to send your ass to timeout. We're going to send you to timeout. You better sit your ass down. I'm not telling you again. So to avoid all of that or to minimize that, please build your skill sets up. Acquire knowledge, acquire information. I mean, if you, for instance, for those that took a foreign language when they were younger, how about go back and brush up on it? Not to say that you're going to pick it up again, but see what you retain. And then figure like, damn, if I would have never stopped, ain't no telling how much more you can, add on to it. And then again, if you draw, if you're a writer, you're for writers. Now, I've shared this with many people that, I come across and they tell me that they're right. Now, what do you write? Oh, I do stories, I do this, I do that. So I share, have you ever heard of copywriting? And, naturally everybody is going to speak on copy, R-I-G-H-T. You know what I'm saying? And at one time, that's the only copywriting I knew. But no, I'm speaking of copywriting, W-R-I-T-I-N-G. So I've, shared some sites and information with people and it just went past them. I'm like, man, if you're a writer, so what a copywriter is somebody who writes commercials, advertisements or mailers or emails, anything that a company, basically they communicate with the lead of their pencil or the ink of their pen or the strokes of the keys. And there are people that get paid tens of thousands of dollars for doing commercials. But before you get to that point, you got to start off writing your basic things. And so for those that like to write, to me, that was me sharing a little insight to how you can increase yourself and your skill set to where you can put yourself out there and you can select who you want to work for and charge what you want to charge for the work that you put in to improve yourself. But, for whatever reason, I'm not nothing personal, but for whatever reason, it wasn't valued. And, partly I definitely can say is that because they never heard of it before, it's not the popular thing to do. But again, when they came saying, like I said, as I share, I look at things differently. And so when something comes about that can benefit what I'm doing and where I'm going, I'm gonna plug in. Yeah, damn right. I'm gonna plug in. Okay, what? So I like to write. Oh shit, I can. Okay, another service to be provided. Let me put this in the bag. Just like with the vinyl, I could do T-shirt, whatever marketing business campaigns. Let me put that in the bag. Now copywriting, let me put that in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And then, as far as programming, as far as graphic designing or anything, whatever skill, let me put that in the bag. Because what's going on, and I'm gonna go back to it, is the manual labor is done. You're going to get to a point where you're going to have to provide for yourself or your family. And if you have no talents and no skills, and you're starting from ground zero, it's going to be a hell of a battle. I'm not saying it can't happen. You're going to have to be that much more determined in your efforts to get beyond where you currently are. That's what is going to happen. And just to give an idea of how things are evolving and have evolved and where they're going. So in the 20th century, everything used to, everything was, physical. Everything was touching. Everything was, manual. So you had to have something of substance that was tangible, which were buildings, which were products. And so, products was the number one industry. Then services was second, and then information was last. So you had a you had a product, what I'm saying? So you had a building, you had a big factory and products was churning. You had employees, you had, so much going on. Then services. So the service industry, people that provide services to people. Then there was information. But the way and the times that we were in a physical era, physical age. Now that we're in the age of Aquarius, which is ether, which is air, which is information, now information is number one. Services is number two, are number two. And products are number three. So we went from a era of products, services, and information, pretty much it inverted to information, services, and products. Again, for those that do not comprehend what's going on and the direction of where everything is going, you got to break out of them old ways. It's no longer physical. You have to adapt yourself, adjust yourself, smack yourself, slap yourself, and kick your own self in the ass to get yourself to adapt to where things are going. So just think, again, I think I shared before, and I think I shared, people that were slow to transition to the computer or the internet or any technology that is prevailing or that is being unveiled as to what's about to happen and what's going on. It's not even a situational question no longer as if and when. It's if and when are you going to adjust? That's the if and when. As far as what's happening, it's already jumping and popping. And those that are last are just going to be that. So take whatever talents or skills you have and you have to nurture them and develop them. Again, YouTube University, there's plenty of people speaking. I'm sure your buddies, if you are around people that aren't speaking and working on improving and enhancing themselves, you may have to distance yourself because you can't be better than what you surround yourself with. That's the truth. You could just hop out the shower and slip in some dog shit. It speaks for itself. It's not you're not the same as though when you first stepped out the shower. So whatever your environment is, it can affect you. And this is the other thing. So people's environment has more influence over them until they begin to influence themselves. A person's environment influences a person more than themselves until they reverse that. So if you're in an environment that's very influential for you, and that environment is not conducive to where you want to go, you have to remove yourself. If you truly want what you say you want. Now, if you're cool and you're attached to be negative and drama and everything, I'm not saying everything has to be bad, but these are the words that I'm choosing to utilize, then you're fine. No need to complain. Whatever results you get, don't give us reasons why you got those results, because the reason number one is you never chose to be better. So let's just start with that. So until you choose to do better, you won't be better. You won't do better. Better doesn't exist until you choose it. Again, I shared at the beginning of my videos, greatness is yours once you claim it. That's a fact, universal law. You have to claim it to own it. If you don't own it, if you don't claim it, you don't own it. If you say it, you're just saying it. Again, he who has will get more. He who has will get more. He that has little and does nothing with it, it'll be taken from you. So before your talent, your skill, the potential, whatever you have, invest in yourself. You owe it to yourself, because the where things are right now, don't try to be the one that's going to get his leg shut up in the door when that door when the door shuts. Don't do it. Right now, I mean, the door is closing, and it definitely is. But again, don't wait to be that person that's going to think you're going to slide in and get trapped, cut off at the leg. But that'd be a choice. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just wanted to touch on the benefit of increasing yourself, sharpening your skills, and if you have many skills, hey, wonderful to you. Hey, welcome. I'm in that boat. You know what I'm saying? I don't like being limited. So if this one shuts off, I'm good on the other avenue. So, and if you don't have a skill, get you one. So get some or get one. It's up to you. Again, I'm Keystone, the synthesizer of energy, frequencies, and information that generates increases of consciousness, self-awareness, and self-love for those who do not know who they are or the power they possess. This is Code Red. Welcome to the introspection. Have a great day.